herbs, medicinal medicine, or medicinally. Some of you cook with herbs, some of you drink herbs, some may smoke herbs. Nevertheless, herbs are used for healing, fighting off disease, helping ease the pain, and strengthening the immune system. Berries are very important to you. I like to say berries are, when I make my fruit smoothie, I say berry delicious. So I make me some berry delicious smoothies, okay? Berries, they contain high levels of phytochemicals. Those are nutrients that protect the cells from getting damaged. They are also antibiotics. Blueberries, blackberries, they're so good for you. Some of you have heard my story about my fight with diabetes type 2. I beat diabetes type 2 by eating blueberries, blackberries, some strawberries, mostly blueberries and blackberries. I also began exercising more and eating less, food portioning, meditating, and developing a stronger relationship with God. So that helped me beat diabetes. Exercise. Exercise is good for reducing stress, boosting your mood, improving your sex life, building strong muscles and bones. So those are 3 tips that I'd like to share with you all on today's show. Invest in herbs, use herbs. Some of you drink herbal supplements, or take herbal supplements through pills or capsules like ashwagandha and some other herbal remedies. So again, herbs, berries, and exercise. Herbs, berries, and exercise. When you are dealing with mental illness, it is important, it is imperative that you exercise. It's imperative that you change your eating habits, that you adapt to a healthier eating practice. I'm not advocating that everyone become vegan, although that's if you are a Bible believer and that's what God intended us to be, vegetarian. In fact, vegans. When God created man and woman, he gave them a second commandment after he told them, you have power over everything on the face of the earth. Now eat from the ground from which you came from, and that should be your meat. Every fruit, every vegetable that has seeds, that should be your food. That should be your meat. That's what God said. So if God said that, then why are we not making those better health choices for ourselves? Because as we consume the different meats, it counteracts with our body. It attacks our liver, pancreas, digestive system, prostate. It attacks our bodies in different ways, breast cancer. Again, all of this stuff is important when we are dealing with mental illness, because we have to be cognizant of what we are putting into our body. If we are putting garbage into our bodies, we're going to expel garbage. And it could be something as simple as the deodorants that we use. You're putting toxins in your body through the deodorants that you use. Something as simple as the toothpaste that you use. Well, oftentimes antiperspirant deodorant and most of your deodorants that you use on a daily basis have a substance in it called aluminum zirconium, which is not healthy for you. It causes cancer, and oftentimes breast cancer in both men and women. So I would strongly advise you to look at the deodorants that you use. And if you need an alternative deodorant, I can certainly recommend some alternative deodorants for you and get you on the right track. There are soaps that we use on a day-to-day basis, and all of this contributes to mental illness. If you don't know better, then you won't do better. But when you know better, you do better. Again, these things were designed against us, not for us. The waters that we drink. I remember going to the stores where there was always an influx of spring water. Today, when you go to your stores, your grocery stores, you hardly see bottles of spring water. Why? Because it has been replaced with what? Yeah, you guessed it, purified water, which isn't good for you at all. All the doctors and the sages and the medicinal healers, they all promoted what? Spring water. In the Bible, it talks about spring up, oh well, spring water, living springs, springs of living water. So why would we revert from spring water to purified water? I mean, we should all be in an alkaline state, for sure. How do you get there? How do you get there? When we control the foods that we are consuming, the drinks, the beverages that we are drinking, the deodorants, the toothpastes, the soap that we are using on our body, then the impact of mental illness will be less severe. We strike ourselves a deadly blow every time we do ourselves a disservice. When we are doing ourselves a disservice, we are causing distress on our bodies. You wonder why people have strokes and diabetes and heart attacks. If you trace it back to the foods that you eat, you might realize that has contributed to 90% or 99% of your own personal body's illness. It says you are what you eat. Again, I'm not advocating or promoting that anyone become a vegan or a vegetarian on my show. I am just saying we are dealing with mental illness. And in order to have a clear mind, a clear body, a clear spirit, you have to eat those foods that are healthy for you, that build your immune system, that strengthen your mind, your body, your spirit, your chakras. You have to be cognizant of what you are doing to your bodies. Those of you that are just now tuning in and this is your first time, I appreciate you. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at King Ya Speaks. Instagram and Twitter at King Ya Speaks. I am on Instagram and Twitter at King Ya Speaks. If you have a question or a comment, now is the time. You have a question or a comment, thank you for calling to the show. What's your name? How you doing? You have a question or a comment?
How are you today, Brother Kenya?
I'm doing good. Is this my friend? Tell us your name.
My name is Redina. Yes. So I wanted to make like 3 comments. I really appreciate everything you and the sister Queen Kayla has been talking about, and I embrace all of it, everything. And in dealing with the Mental Health Awareness Month, I like to think about 3 similar categories. They're you've been talking about mental illness, mental issues, and mental dis-ease. And I wanted to share something that we generally don't think about as being a part of those categories that could start us on the journey to mental health. I like to think of it as like Mental Health 101. One of the things is negative thoughts. When we participate in negative thoughts, we do know that thoughts are things. So when we participate in negative thoughts, we set the stage, or we drop those seeds into what we call fertile ground, your mind. And the more we play with those negative thoughts or turn them over or just have them, then we open up, we plant more seeds. And as a result, those thoughts, because of the way the mind works and the brain, those thoughts begin to become very powerful. And in a sense, they kind of multiply. They grow. They manifest into some very serious and very dangerous problems. And that's where and so they're in the category of dis-ease or mental issues. Even when you're thinking about getting mad at something, even if you use the word or the thought, ooh, that makes me mad, or that makes me sick, or I'm upset. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Exactly. So many of us don't think we have mental problems, but the mental issues or any type of dis-ease, any type of mental negativity, sets the stage and helps you to, just like anything that's exercise, anything you think about or do over and over and over and over, you're exercising it. So you're putting it into what we call the atmosphere. You're putting it into your private space, those sacred gifts that we've been given. As the Queen has said, the body, the mind, the soul. So you're actually setting up more toxicity. You're becoming more toxic. And what happens in the mind affects everything. And so my second point is, so we want to be concerned about the emotions, the emotional self. In addition to the body, mind, soul, we want to think about the emotions and get a grip on them. We're supposed to be the master of our emotions and not be a slave to them. So we need to watch, and we can't become the observer. When you feel the word, when you hear the word come out, stop yourself, or, work towards, or just find some new words, not negative, for sure. Okay? So the three things, emotions, energy, and our social self, our social relationship, whether it's the relationship with ourselves or relationship with others, we have those other areas we need to be really concerned about when we talk about self-care, emotions, energy. And within the energy field, you're talking about, like you mentioned, the chakras or your aura, or just sensing through the solar plexus where other people are coming from. Sometimes say she or he has negative energy, or I went into that place, I didn't like the feel of it. So you really want to begin to work on not only emotions or negative thoughts, emotions, but the energy. And that's how energy is one of the top of the line healing modalities or entities when we really start. There's so many different types of energy practices out here. We talked earlier about Reiki, there's pranic healing, there's so many, and there's some simple things we can do, as you've already kind of stated earlier, by sitting, getting quiet, relaxing, and even if you just concentrate on your breath work. All of that pulls in and changes your energy, which changes your frequency, which changes your vibration. And we end up receiving an upgrade. And that's what's needed to fight anything that's out there, because we begin to tap into that power source that all of us have. We upgrade our energy system, which is a finer aspect of what we call the soul. And that's what we have to upgrade, and that component has unlimited possibilities, or should I say that gift. And those are the three comments I wanted to talk about, those three things. Just by getting quiet and breathing, close your eyes, quiet and breathing. And generally you might see people who are into yoga positions, but you can just sit in a chair and with your palms facing up. And a good way to really establish a relationship with energy is to pay attention to it as it comes into the fingers or the hands, and just actually honor it as you feel it. And you can feel it. There are like the hundreds of ways you can feel energy coming into your hands and your feet. Some people can feel it coming into every single pore in the body. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Appreciate you so much. Thank us. I appreciate you, Sister Radina. Gratitude to you, and we appreciate your comments. Definitely. Guys, as she stated, as we have stated, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your body, because again, when you are dealing with mental illness, you are causing distress and dis-ease within your body. Another thing, I'm a pet lover. I'm an animal lover. Those of you that have pets and animals and dogs, guess what? They get stressed too. Your dogs, yeah, I know. They get stressed too. They're worried about you. They're protecting you. They're concerned. They may be your guard dogs, or your road dogs, or whatever type of dogs they are. Pets get stressed too, especially if they are an emotional support animal or a therapy pet. They get stressed. You ever had a pet and you see the dog or puppy just vomit? They're stressed. It happens. They're stressed. Okay. So